dear JLM and SINGARENI aspirants, welcome to SAIMEDHA KOTI Hyderabad. Myself Surendra Babu. Students, in this video I am going to discussing one important gunshot concept for your exam point of view, that is types of transmission lines. Students, we know that the transmission lines are classified into different types based on the physical length of the line. This is very important question we can expect, students. The transmission lines are classified based on by considering the physical length of the line. That is, on the basis of physical length of the lines at a specified frequency, the transmission lines are classified into three types. One is a short transmission line, medium transmission line and a long transmission line, students. One of the expected question based on this point is, based on which basis the transmission lines are classified? Based on the physical length of the line. Now the question is, when the particular line is said to be short transmission line, medium transmission line, long transmission line, what are the differences, students? From the differences also we can expect the question that I am going to discussing, students. That you have to concentrate. What is the differences between short transmission line, medium transmission line and long transmission line, students? Very important observation, students. Surely we can expect one question from this observation. Short transmission line. The another one is medium transmission lines. Medium transmission lines. Medium transmission lines. The another one is long transmission lines. Long transmission lines. Transmission lines. Okay, that you have to concentrate. Based on physical length of the line at a given frequency, in general we have to take at 50 Hz frequency, at f equal to 50 Hz frequency, when the particular line is said to be short transmission line, if the length of the line is less than 80 kilometers, that is up to 80 kilometers, if the length of the line is up to 80 kilometers, then you have to take that is a short transmission line. What about the medium transmission line, students? If the length is in between 80 kilometers to 160 kilometers, that is up to 160 kilometers, you have to take the medium transmission line, students. This is also first one. If the length is in between 80 kilometers to 160 kilometers, you have to take the medium transmission lines. Then when the particular line is said to be long transmission line, students, if the length is greater than 160 kilometers, then it is a long transmission line. From this, surely we can expect the question, students. All this length is given at 50 Hz frequency. The condition is at a given frequency, when the particular line is said to be short transmission line, long transmission line, medium transmission line, students. Similarly, what about the voltage ratings? If the voltage rating is less than 20 kV, if the voltage rating is 20 kV to, if the voltage rating is 20 kV to 100 kV, if the voltage rating is greater than 100 kV, then it is treated as a long transmission line. This is a medium transmission line. This is a short transmission line, students. And one more important observation, students. In the analysis of short transmission lines, the capacitance is neglected. The capacitance is neglected. Very important, students. Capacitance. In short transmission line, which of the following parameter is neglected? Capacitance is. But in medium transmission lines, capacitance is considered. Capacitance is taken into account. Capacitance is considered. What about in long transmission line? In long transmission line also, capacitance is considered. Capacitance is considered. This is the second difference that you have to concentrate, students. The third one is, if capacitance is neglected, in the analysis of short transmission line, which model you have to use? if capacitance is neglected, in the analysis of short transmission line, we have to use RL lumped model, students. Because capacitance is neglected now, we have to use RL lumped model. RL lumped model is used to analyze the short transmission line. But what about the medium transmission line, students? We have to use RLC lumped model. We have to use RLC lumped model, students. RLC lumped model. But what about in long transmission line? In long transmission line, you can use RLCG. There is a conductance also, G, where G is the shunt conductance. RLCG distributed model you have to use. RLCG. What model you have to use to analyze the transmission line? That also one of the expected questions, friends. Then one more difference that you have to remember. This is IC. That is IC is negligible. IC. That is a charging current, because here we are not considering any capacitance, then IC is negligible. In the analysis of short transmission lines, IC is negligible. What about in medium transmission lines, friends? IC is appreciable. IC is appreciable. This is the considered. But in the case of long transmission line, IC is very large. IC, that is the charging current, students. That is the capacitor charging current is very large in the case of long transmission lines. Very large in the case of long transmission lines. But one more point to remember, students, here we are using RL lumped model. But in this case, in medium transmission lines, we are using nominal T model, very important. Nominal pi model, students. Nominal pi model. It is a lumped model. You have to use nominal T model and nominal pi model. But it is a distributed model. For analysis purpose, we can convert this distributed model into, we are assuming that distributed model as a lumped model. That lumped models are analyzed as a equivalent T model, equivalent pi model, students. Because why the name is given as equivalent T model and equivalent pi model? We are converting the distributed model into lumped model for analysis purpose. Because of that reason, in the case of students, in the case of long transmission lines, we are using equivalent T model. Another one is equivalent pi model, students. For the analysis of long transmission line, we have to use equivalent T model and equivalent pi model. But point to remember, students, in T model and pi model, which is more preferable model? Pi model is more preferable. Okay, this very important observation. Surely we can expect one question based on this observation, students. One of the expected question is, the transmission lines are classified based on physical length of the line. That is one question. For a short transmission line, the length is less than 80 kilometers. For medium transmission line, the length is 80 to 160 kilometers. For a long transmission line, the length is greater than 160 kilometers. In short transmission line, which parameter is neglected? Capacitance is neglected. Short transmission line, which model you have to use? RL lumped model you have to use. Medium transmission line, RLC lumped model you have to use. Long transmission line, RLCG distributed model you have to use. In medium transmission line, there is a nominal T model and nominal pi model. In long transmission line, there is equivalent T model and equivalent pi model, students. Okay, these observations are important that you have to concentrate, students. Okay, this is about the one of the important and gunshot concept for our exam point of view. Students, wish you all the best. We have to see one more concept in the next coming video. Thank you.